search my name up, they're gonna be like, okay.
Mr. Bradley, you got a camera?
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. Yes, sir. I'm at work right now.
No, you're good. You're good. We got you.
I only have
All right.
9 minutes on my break. I won't be able to stay on camera face to face if there's
No, okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll let it happen. I've seen you that you're there. All right. He paid the $2,000. He was going to pay
$1,000.
Pardon?
Yes, I'm.
Go ahead.
Right away, you can feel the pressure building here. The defendant is trying to negotiate a payment plan, but in eviction court, timing is everything. Judges don't just care if you'll pay. They care when...
Yes, I was trying to pay her $1,000 on the 28th, and I was trying to continue the payment plan of $1,000 every 2 weeks.
Is that acceptable to you, Ms. Fry?
Oh, it's not, because I don't want this dragged out all summer. I'm losing tenants over him, and I've already lost a good one, and I've got 2 more that are threatening to leave, and I can't.
And here's the turning point. Notice how the landlord isn't just asking for money. They're arguing impact, lost tenants, financial damage. This is exactly the kind of argument that pushes a judge toward granting possession.
I just can't. If he pays up, then I can adjust. But I've gotten a lot of empty.
How much is owing?
3,000.
I think it's 3,400.
3,419.32, and that's with utilities only through mid-March. There's another batch of utilities coming in that'll be through mid-April, and then for however long.
Sir, if you pay the $1,000 on the 28th, that'll bring that balance on the judgment. If I enter a judgment today down to 2,400, when can you get 2,400 into her?
I could have it in I would say a month. I could try to find a loan. I do have.
Well, you're going to have to do it before then. Here's what I'm going to do.
Watch this closely. This is a classic courtroom move. The judge is about to lock in the amount. That means no matter what happens next, the number won't increase. It's actually a small win for the defendant. But the clock is now ticking.
And I'm doing this I'm going to grant a judgment today to lock this figure in. This isn't going to include any of your May charges. It's only going to include the charges for today. Going to grant her a judgment for possession. Court finding no tribal issue after a hearing. And then what I'm going to do in terms of the writ date is indicate that if defendant pays the $1,000 on the
28th, sir.
28th. That's on April 28th. Then the writ extended to May 15th. So here's the deal. If you don't pay that on the 4th, the writ will issue on the 4th. If you don't pay that by the 28th, the $1,000, the writ will issue on May 4th, the 10 days.
Okay.
If you pay that.
This is huge. The judge just created a conditional timeline pay by the 28th, and you get more time. Miss it, and eviction speeds up. This is how courts balance fairness with enforcement.
$1,000 on the 28th. I'm going to extend the writ date to May 15th.
Okay.
Give you extra time.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Not a problem. Thank you. Ms. Fry, you'll need to file a judgment reflecting that out at the front counter.
I file a judgment?
You file a judgment reflecting what I've ordered at the front counter.
Okay.
Thank you.
The clerk office?
Pardon?
You'll be down at the clerk office?
Yes, you'll pick up a judgment down there.
Your Honor, I give her the cash, or do I bring it to the clerk's office again?
No, you give it to Ms. Fry.
Okay.
All right. I don't need to watch you guys count out. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Court stands in recess.
All rise.
Fourteen District Court in Pittsfield Township. 14 District Court also includes jurisdiction over cities. Anything in Washington city right now Finding. Well, and the right to demand a trial by jury. If you want a trial by jury, you must demand it orally. Or in writing by first. It must be paid. You would bring. You know, assistance is also. Or. Assistance and resources. Your phone number. 4-6. You do not need the judgment to obtain assistance from any of these citizens. The sentence and opinion that's sufficient.
First session, the Honorable Judge J. Cedric Simpson presiding.
You may be seated. My apologies about my delay. Are we,
I turned that off earlier. I'll double check while you do this.
okay. I just hadn't seen it. Barnes and Barnes versus Amaya Patton. Where's that up here?
I feel like you should have a dismissal.
I do. Case is dismissed to the extent that he's appearing. Motion of the plaintiff. Arborwoods versus Alicia Franklin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Rachel Dornbush, Palace Law, on behalf of the plaintiff.
I'm here.
All right. Ms. Franklin, do you have a camera?
Yes. Hold on one second. Let me pull over. Hey, give me one.
Oh, great. So you had to go get your kids? Did you? How many more does? She has quite a few. All right. Ms. Franklin, although I can't hear you, I'm going to pass the matter. If you got to get kids, you go get your kids, and then we'll call you up last.
Okay, I'm here. I just had to go get the grandbaby and stuff, but I can see you now.
All right. Hold on. Did you get them?
I'm on my way now, pulling over so I can talk to you.
Okay, hold on a second. Ms. Franklin, I'm going to pass your case. You go get your grandbabies and then get yourself back on.
Okay, I will.
I'll pass it. Thank you. Arborwoods versus Reginald Hugan. And Alicia Hugan. Not here.
Oh, they're not present, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Hugan is. Okay.
Mr. Hugan is here. All right. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, I did email over to Ms. Weidling a proposed consent judgment for Mr. Hugan to take a look at. I spoke with him yesterday, and he had let me know of some payments that had been dropped off to Arbor Woods. This consent judgment, Your Honor, accounts for those payments. It also then indicates that defendants will make an additional $1,000 payment next Friday, May 1st. And then the remaining balance, which would include the May rental charges, on or before May 15th.
Is that a correct statement, sir? All right, you have that,
Yes, so only thing I got a question with, when they, so the extra court cost is for what, May already? Is that what that is?
I'm sorry,
The extra court cost?
extra court cost?
Yes, is,
I don't have a copy of it in front of me, so, and it's my bailiff.
It
Your
looked
Honor,
like-
there's only court costs that have been assessed for the filing of this action, and those were assessed on the ledger on March 16th. I will say, just so Mr. Hugan is aware, they were charged at $242, but they're actually $246. So there's just a slight discrepancy with the exact number, but there have not been additional court costs charged for May.
Get that, sir?
I don't know, what she, I don't know.
What you just said? Okay, so you're talking about the 246?
Yes.
You think that that's something additional? It's not. What that is that that's their court cost.
Okay,
Okay, and it's only been assessed once. You won't have like a court costs that are assessed per case. They're not assessed per month.
right. That's why I was like,
An extra amount.
because they telling me I need what I'm seeing on the bottom line, I need to bring in 13 something by next Friday. And I thought, that's what I was trying to figure out.
No, Mr. Hugan, it indicates that you're gonna pay $1,000
Okay,
next
Okay.
Friday, and then whatever the remaining balance would
Yeah.
be $318.96 plus your May rent, that would be due on the 15th.
okay, that's
Right.
okay.
That's what it says under paragraph
That
10.
13 for the
13 is
15.
the total amount that needs to be paid. Under paragraph 10, it lays out how it's going to be.
okay.
That makes sense now?
Yeah, they called me. I'm just reading. I got my reading glasses. I can get.
Okay.
Now, this next moment is something a lot of people struggle with understanding court costs and payment breakdowns. And if you don't fully understand it, you can accidentally agree to something you didn't intend.
Have your reading glass.
I'm just.
You could not read this tiny print on it. I get it.
I see
What that says is plaintiff is holding and shall apply $100 payment to the balance
Okay.
due under line 2D, which is the 1318.96.
Okay.
That's the first thing. And then defendant shall pay $1,000 on May 1st,
Correct.
2026.
Right.
And then the remaining balance plus May rental 2026 charges on or before May 15th, 2026.
Okay. That's why I was like the remaining. When I pay this $1,000, shouldn't that clear up? That's what I was wondering. When that clear?
The way I'm going to read this, they're going to apply 100. So that's really going to bring the total to 1218.96.
Okay.
You're going to pay 1,000. And if I'm just looking at that balance, you'll pay the 1,000, you'll have $218.96 carrying over into May plus your May rent. And then by the 15th, you're going to pay that amount plus your May, the $218.96 plus your May rent by May 15th.
Okay. That's why when I came first, it was 2,100 I owed. That's why I gave him 1,100. That's what I was kind of confused on. That's why I dropped.
When you came to last time, it was $2288.90.
Oh, was it? Okay. All right.
We're going to pay $1,100 that Monday.
Yeah. Okay.
That brought it down. If I'm just ballparking, that brought it down to about the figure
Okay.
we have on here. So everything.
Okay.
I need to make sure you understand it. When I'm looking at the numbers, I get it.
I'm with you. You get it. I get it. I'm with you there.
All right.
I can't fault
Do you
you.
have any other questions regarding this?
I'm great.
Hmm?
I'm great.
All right. What I will need you to do is at the very bottom, and I'll send a pen out with you. I need you to sign that at the very bottom on what will be your right-hand side.
Now, would you guys allow me if I come, to drop off some payments earlier than the 15th? If you,
I'm sure they will take your payments earlier than the 15th, Mr. Hugan.
thank you.
See it at the very bottom
Want me to date it to?
on your right hand? Yes, sir. Date it and sign it.
Today is the 24th.
All right.
Thank you. I think I did.
Any other questions you have?
I had no question.
All right. And you're aware that you have 3 business days to think about this. And if you believe that there's some legal reason, some misunderstanding on your part, some confusion, that you could file a motion with the court within that time frame to set it aside. Doesn't mean that I will, but you have those 3 business days to do it.
But this right here is critical. Most people don't realize they have a short window to challenge a judgment. 3 business days. Miss that. And your options shrink fast.
You understand that?
I'm agreeing everything you got. I'm with you.
Okay.
I have no problem.
All right. And so I'll enter that by consent as to defendant 1, by default as to defendant 2. And then we're all set, Mr. Hughes.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Well, bless them. Thank you.
Say hi to your wife.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Arbor Woods versus George Jones IV. He is. Your name?
George Jones IV.
See where I can find it. There it is. All righty. I have a note here that his application for Hawk is in process.
Yes.
And the application will be finalized next week due to transition in funding source. What the heck that means, I do not know, but.
Definitely an email.
Huh?
I don't know what it means.
That's exactly.
I mean, other than
No, we would normally have a clarification if we had a real live person here, but they've taken that away from us for whatever reason. They say financial. I doubt that's the case. So that's where we are, Ms. Dornbush.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right. So what's his monthly rent?
Mr. Jones, his rent is $705. He has a $20 pet fee. And then I would say that his water and sewer are under $60 generally, but they might get up closer to 70 or 80 or higher depending on usage, but that appears to kind of be the norm.
And he was, so what do you have as the current balance?
I've got Mr. Jones at $1,917.44.
Okay. So he'd still be under the 3,000 with May kicking in. Is there anything that you can pay between now and within the next week or 2?
Not really. I'm not working. I did just accept an offer for a job, but I don't start it until the 11th.
Started till
the 11th.
Why you can get the Hawk funding, but you can't do that. All right. What I'm going to do, rather than, I can do it 1 of 2 ways. But you'll be under the 3. I'm going to take a chance with him since they sent us this note. I'm going to adjourn it out to my next date over the objection of plaintiff, I guess, to the 8th, May 8th.
Okay.
2026 at 3 p.m. That's in person also.
Okay.
Okay. And hopefully the application will go through. They'll get everything there. You'll still be under the $3,000 cap. And they're going to pay if that's the amount that they put in.
Right.
I just have to hope. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Harbor Woods versus Sanasia Thomas. Did I say that right? No, I bet you I didn't. You're going to correct me, and then I'm going to feel bad.
No. Thanks to Nigel, but I'm mom to Tanjanika.
Pardon? You're the mom.
I'm the mom.
Okay. She's not here.
She's at work.
At work. Okay, but you sent somebody. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this?
With costs, Your Honor, $3,312.22. Your Honor, I did speak with Miss Thomas yesterday, and she had indicated that the monies that she was supposed to pay by Wednesday. She ended up having to use for another issue, but nonetheless, she anticipates getting some income next Friday, and that she would be able to have everything paid in full next Friday. So
By the first?
yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, you said that was $3,312. What were the cents?
22 cents, Your Honor.
All right. I'm trying not to make you talk too much, Mr. Orbush. I don't. So what I'm going to do is, ma'am, I'm going to grant a judgment for possession. I'm going to do that by default since she's not here. Just lock that figure in. I'm going to give them a judgment for the $3,312.22. All right?
Yeah.
And you can let her know that I'll just have a written 10 days. So that's going to be May 4th. So if she would have everything by Friday, she should be all set.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You are.
Arbor Woods versus April Tubb Streeter. Hello. Your name?
April Tubb Streeter.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim today as to what she owes?
With costs, Your Honor, $1,044.40. And Your Honor, the copy of the ledger that I sent over to the court
Yes.
does not actually include a $1,000 payment made on April 21st. But additionally, the court costs are off by $4. So if the court were to take off $1,000 and then add on $4, it should, there's some additional fees, Your Honor. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should just send this updated ledger to you.
Okay.
There's an additional $40 on this ledger that I don't think that you have, because I think I attached the older one.
Got it.
I will send the new one right now.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, we had an issue kind of the last time, I guess. What's the issue? Do you see the ledger?
No, I don't have it, but I think that's what she's talking about, that $40 she's talking about.
Yes.
That extra $40 because I already paid them that. I came into the office for you up. She checked, she had overcharged me over $100. Took that off. She noticed that I still owe $10 for 4 money orders that I had bought in. So I had to go get her a money order for $64 and some change. And for some reason on the ledger, it's still on there as I owe for 4 money orders.
Your Honor, the $40 I'm referring to is not the $40 she's referring to. It is a $30 late fee assessed on April 21st and a check payment surcharge that was based on the $1,000 payment from April 21st. The surcharges that Ms. Tubb Streeter is referring to are the ones that are on the ledger that Your Honor has. They're from March 4th. And as the court will note, and as I indicated last week, they're not on there twice. They're only on there one time.
I didn't say they were on there twice. I said I already paid it.
When did you?
So why would I be paying it again?
Well, when did you pay it?
I paid it to her last month. I have the money orders at home. If I'd have known, I'd have bought them. Like I said, she
the one that rate
so,
last time, Miss.
But you said that you was getting a ledger. I don't.
Your Honor, I'm not sure what she means by she already paid them.
I don't either.
Look,
for a charge to be paid by her, it has to be on the ledger. So you're dropping off a payment for $62.40 because that's what you say that the manager told you to pay, doesn't mean they're not going to report the applicable charges to the ledger. They have to even out.
You know what? I ain't even gonna deal with it. It's my fault. Next time I'll just make them write what I'm paying for because I know what I paid for. And I know what I shouldn't be paying for again, but again.
Well, ma'am, are you saying there wasn't a payment? That the payment, I see the $40 in March, attached on March 4. You're saying you already paid those, and I'm trying to figure out where you would have paid them. Because, and the reason I'm saying that is it can be on your ledger, but whatever you paid in would also be reflected on the ledger.
It should be.
So
But just like
are you
overcharge,
something's not, are you saying that there is a payment you made that's not reflected on?
absolutely. Absolutely. It's if you see the $65 money order with 60 something dollar money order on there, that's what the $40 was included at. At first, she told me at first it was just $30. But at that moment, I was bringing her in another money order. So she told me that I had to add $10 more to it because I was going to purchase another money order. So that made it $40 in money order. So that I had to pay them.
So how much was the money order that you paid them this $40 for?
Oh, Lord, I don't know how much the money orders were. But the one that was included where it was like 60 something dollars where the $40 went into for the money orders. I guess I owed them like 20 something dollars still.
Your Honor, what I suspect happened is that when Miss Tubb Streeter went in originally, she went in with 3 money orders, one for $1,000, one for $301, and one for $870. And when she gave those to the manager said, paying by these 3 money orders means you're going to incur a $10 surcharge for each of these payments, meaning you owe $30. But if you're going to pay for that with a money order, that money order is going to incur a $10 surcharge, meaning that's where the $40 is coming from. But my client verbally telling Miss Tubb Streeter that those charges are due isn't the same as putting them on the ledger. Every charge that she incurs goes on the ledger. A verbal statement is just giving her a heads up that these charges are going to incur when these payments get applied. If I'm misstating that, Miss Tubb Streeter, please let me know. But that's what I'm surmising from what you're telling.
Yeah, I see exactly.
I just rather just.
Ma'am, I'm just going to tell you this. No, if you raise it and if there's a problem, I'm going to find it. But what I think where you may be confused about, I get now what happened. You brought in those 3 money orders. They told you there was going to be a $10 surcharge, that you were $20 short. Now I get what you were saying. You were actually going to be about $22.40 short. They tell you that there's going to be this $10 charge, right? You go and get another money, and plus you're going to get another money order. You're going to get, so you bring them back another money order, basically, presumably all happening at one time. This is all transacting on the 4th for $62.40. They put those all on your ledger on the payment side. So you paid everything. You then paid when the 40 went in, you then paid it. But when you're saying you charged it again, you're not charged it again. I don't see that. I see that what happened on that day, you did exactly what they said. But if you look, I'm just going to circle them because I don't want you saying that they did something to you because I don't see it. You can hand that to. That's the ledger. And look at those 8 transactions that I've got there, right? Mm-hmm. And one's 1,000, the 300, and then there's another payment, and then the 62.40, right? It shows all of those payments. So you put the 40 in that last money order, the 62, whatever. That's exactly what you said. But they didn't double charge you again because on your ledger, all that's occurring on the same day. They put the $10 in for those 4 money orders. So everything right then got paid.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
And now we've got confusion over charges. This is where eviction cases get messy. Payments, fees, ledgers. One misunderstanding can turn into a full-blown dispute.
All right. So I don't see it. There's 1,044 left. I don't.
It'll be paid by Friday, Your Honor.
What, this Friday?
Well, I'm sorry, no, the 30th.
You can pay it by this?
Yeah,
Yes, for sure.
positive.
Okay. Here's what I'll do.
One more thing, because I'm having a problem. Reason why I have to keep paying for these money orders, because for some reason I can't get into their system, or when I need to make a partial payment, I can't. Like when I just made this payment, now I owe them $10 again because it wouldn't let me pay the $1,000 online.
And is that because of, it's usually because of some issue?
Your Honor, the system just doesn't, there's no mechanism in the
Except
system
partial
for-
payments.
to do the partial payment.
Right. The system doesn't accept partial payments at this place. So I get that. So what date can you get? Do you think you can get it paid on the 30th?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this then.
That's Wednesday, right?
Pardon?
Wednesday, right? I said that's Wednesday, right?
The 30th is Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you're trying to give yourself leave, but that's fine. I was just thinking of how I was going to do this. I wasn't going to adjourn it out, and I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grant a judgment for possession. And it was 1044.
0.40.
0.40. All right. I'm going to grant them a judgment for that amount. Okay. And I'm going to indicate that the judgment can be a little bit weird, but I'm going to do it this way. Judgment won't issue until the 1st with a writ date of the 4th. So it only seems like 3 days. But here's the reason I'm doing that. If you get that in, they're going to dismiss the case. Okay.
Look at how the judge handles this firm, but strategic. He's setting a tight deadline instead of delaying the case. Translation: pay fast, or consequences follow immediately.
But I don't want to adjourn it out until the 8th, because then if you don't pay it, there's going to be an issue.
It'll be.
So what I'm trying to do here is you pay that by that time, they're going to dismiss it. If you don't pay that by that time, I'm letting the time run for what would be an order of eviction. But if you get it paid, if you don't get it paid, they can enter a judgment, and then that Monday they're going to get a writ.
Don't worry about it.
And I don't think that's going to happen. So I just need to explain to you what I'm doing. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
And
no, she can.
she gave me a copy.
She gave you the new. Okay, then I'll take that from her.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Northville Estates versus Jessica Monard.
This one's going to be a dismissal, Your Honor. Let me double check and make sure I'm not making that up. And I'm pretty sure I got approval to dismiss that one.
All right. This case is dismissed. That's without prejudice. Northville Crossing versus Laura Vinton.
And Your Honor, this, I don't expect Ms. Vinton to appear. Excuse me. Your
This
Honor,
is your
the motion. Yeah, we had
plaintiff's petition for disposal of the whole home. I'm saving you some words here. Okay, Mr. Rivers, I've read the petition. Everything in that petition is correct. Is that correct?
There is just some additional notes, Your Honor, that I just wanted to bring to the court's attention.
Go ahead.
There was a lien. We verified a lien, but it's been released by 21st Mortgage. So that particular party in interest is no longer in effect. And Your Honor, there was a second individual on the title. Leslie, I believe was the name, Leslie Vinton, but Leslie Vinton is deceased, and the title work that we verified with Michigan Secretary of State indicated full rights to survivor. So Ms. Laura Vinton is the only party in interest to this manufactured home, and we've attempted to locate her and serve her, and she is not here today. So we would request entry of the order that was filed with our proposal.
All right. And the order is granted. The order that was submitted to the court, I've signed that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morrisville Crossing versus Jennifer, is it Kramer? Oh, okay. Jennifer Kramer and David Doble. Your name, sir?
David Doble, Your Honor.
All right. And where are we on this case?
Well, with costs, Your Honor, $1,991.59.
All right. And sir, did you get the well, today's the 24th. Were you going to pay the 1,000 today?
I did not get help from my girlfriend's mother, like it was stated, so I guess I'm gonna have to just make these honest efforts myself. I submitted a proposed payment plan to Ms. Dornbush. But I have $600 I can pay today, and that's included in the proposed payment plan. I also sent it to Ms. Weedling. I didn't know if that was the correct person to send it to.
Your Honor,
Yeah, okay.
I received an email from Mr. Doble at 2:25. I just opened his proposal. Your Honor, this indicates a plan through July, that I unfortunately don't have any
Authority.
authority to grant, unfortunately. I mean, if he wants to run it by my client, he can certainly do that. He wants to talk to them about it, but just historically, this isn't something that they would normally agree to.
All right. So let's see. 16. So, sir, we don't quite get there. Oh, no, we do. If you pay 14, plus you pay the 6 today. All right. Okay, sir, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find no tribal issue. I'm going to grant their judgment, but I'm going to try. What I'm doing, sir, is locking in this figure. I understand the circumstances that you're in. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. You need to pay. So I'll grant them the judgment with a writ to issue. And I'm going to say, you got to follow my dates here, May 4th. Okay. If defendant pays the $600, then the writ date's extended to May 8th. Got that so far, sir?
So $600 by May 4th, I'll be able to pay the $600.
You got to pay $600. You said you're going to pay $600 today.
Yes, all right, making sure I'm on track. Yep.
8th of the 4th. But if you pay that $600, then the writ date or when they could move to evict you is going to be extended to May 8th. Okay?
Yeah.
If defendant pays $700 on May 8th, then the writ is extended to May 22nd. All right. Now I'm doing this all over the objection of plaintiff, but you see what I'm doing? I'm getting the first part of your payment plan that you're paying that and you're going to pay the judgment. So you're going to pay the judgment off, but all of these figures that I have here don't include your May rent.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a way to pay this amount off. And extra monies or whatever that you can put forth to May rent, you got to get May rent paid.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to do it that way.
Your Honor, what was the second payment? I'm so sorry, to extend it to the 20, I'm sorry, was it the
second payment of $700. If he pays that on May 8th, that extends the writ to May 22nd.
Okay.
The first payment of $600 gets him to the 8th.
And then the additional 700 that's 1,300, but it doesn't pay off the current balance. Am I missing a payment in there?
Yes, you are actually. And then he's
Hello?
got to pay 700 on the 22nd.
700 on the 22nd.
Yeah, that's what's going to end up happening.
Got it. Okay.
So he'll be paying that, but none of this includes May rent, but that gets into the 2,000, pays that off, and he's got to figure out how he's going to get his May rent paid.
So he's going to pay the 600 today. That extends to May 8. On May 8, if he pays 700, then he's got until the 22nd to pay the remaining 700. That's due on the judgment.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
And then if he does that, then the court is considering this resolved. And my client would issue a new demand for May, or is the court requiring him to pay May?
Right. Well, I'm not going to order him to pay May because I don't know. When would you have May rent, sir? See, I just don't. I think he's going to have to work something out with plaintiff, or they're going to have to file a new case. Because the numbers I see here, I can't work out within the month of May, and I'm not going beyond that.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, it would have to be. I'd have to figure it out. I had it in the payment plan. It looks like I would still be behind to the end of May about $800, $811, and then and that's on the second.
All right, Mr. Noble, I realize what you were working with because you kind of explained it the last time. I get it. So what I'm trying to do is try to get you clear through April.
Yeah.
Talk to your landlord. You'll have this, but talk to your landlord about how you can work out getting May paid and still get this done.
Yeah.
Okay?
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Style Firms versus Janelle Baker. Thank you.
And Your Honor, Miss Baker at $2,980.
$2,980.
Yeah, but payment came in for $707.29 on the 21st.
Okay. All right. And I have a note here that they are waiting on documents from the landlord. Attorney.
All right. Patty, have you gotten any emails from Hawk with respect to Miss Baker?
We have not.
Okay. Miss Baker, do you know who your caseworker is?
Yeah.
I probably have their email address and I can give it to Patty to send over.
Yeah, her name is Autumn.
Got it. That's all I need to say.
All right. So here's what I'll do. How are you doing today?
I'm hanging in there. It was my birthday the other day.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
29 again.
55.
Oh,
okay.
Close. That's it.
Yes, close. Yes, sir.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll adjourn her out to the 8th, which is my next date, 2026 at 3 p.m. Now, between now and then, because you're basically at the cap of what they pay.
Yeah.
And what can you pay between now and the 8th?
I can pay May rent.
Okay, that's good. So what's your May rent?
$960 plus
$15 plus a $45 month-to-month fee, Your Honor, plus the water sewer, which is metered based on usage. Miss Baker, have you gotten your water bill?
Not recently. No, I'll check on that though.
Please do.
Yeah.
So
your
what I'll
water
do
bill's a bit higher than it was previously.
So you'll pay May rent plus your utilities you can pay that before, say, by May 7th?
Yes.
Okay. Pay that by the 7th. We'll see you on the 8th. Hopefully we'll have news then from Hawk and get you caught up.
Yeah. So what Autumn told me was that they are, and this may have been from like one of the cases earlier with the funding, is they are getting more funding in next week.
Yes,
Yes. And so
that is what I've heard.
yeah, and so I like that once that funding comes through, the Autumn will make me a priority to get that.
Right. They kind of let us know, but
Okay.
person here don't really know for sure.
Yeah, because
funding's coming in May 1st.
Right.
And that people are really being put in there. And so those that we can get past that point will be at a better vote. So that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Tile Farms versus Michael Moore. Name?
Michael Moore.
All right. And how much is owing?
1793.52.
He's on the shoot. Oh. Yes, he is. And they are awaiting requested documents from your office. They say here, Miss Dornbush.
Mr. Moore, who's your caseworker? Do you know?
Autumn.
Also, Patty, if you could likewise send.
Yesterday, and she just said that she's waiting to hear back.
Okay. Patty, if you could likewise send Mr. Moore's lease ledger and W-9 to Autumn for Mr. Moore.
Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to adjourn you out to May 8th, 2026. What's that? 3 p.m. in person. Try to make sure if you communicate with Autumn that you'll have that they're operating on the correct figure, because you're going to have May rent click in.
Okay.
And so see if what they could do is, I don't know if they can wrap it in, because as I said to the last person, we're all kind of waiting to that May 1st date.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that in the first meeting, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
May 8th at 3.
Yes, sir. Tile Farms versus Ashley Sayers. Not checked in. Ashley
Your Honor,
Sayers.
This, I
Yes.
believe, was a hearing set by the court following plaintiff's request for an order of eviction.
Yes, it was.
For this one.
She owed $391.16. I said no writ without a hearing. Did she get that paid or no?
Let me take a look here, Your Honor. So, Patty, can you pull up her ledger while I am trying to look at the file on my end? I got a whole stack here. Don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here, Your Honor. Looking at her ledger, the last payment made was on March 26th for $500, which was what was the case when we were in court. So unfortunately, no, she has not. The current balance is $62.65. And then obviously May coming due, that's going to put her around $2,300 ish.
Okay. And she didn't make that payment, had the hearing. I'm going to issue the writ.
Patty, you said that, did she?
Rachel, I don't know why, but you don't have an updated ledger. She made $700 on the 23rd.
Oh, my ledger's from the 23rd, Patty. So she paid $700.
April 23rd?
Yeah. But it's probably before you got it in, because it's not on here. So she paid $700, which means that she satisfied the judgment, Your Honor, but has not paid April.
Okay. She satisfied the judgment. Got it. Okay. So no writ will issue then on this judgment. Got it. Okay. Thank you, Patty, for getting us straight. Tile Farms versus Stephanie Vogel. Hello.
Hi.
Your name?
Stephanie Vogel.
Cool. All right, where are we? What's the current balance?
Oh, Your Honor, $1,585.79. There was a payment of $350 from yesterday.
Right, and that's what they told me. All right. Go ahead. How would you get the rest done? Here.
We already told you guys. We had to wait till the 1st.
Hold on.
I'm angry. I'm angry with their attorneys.
Okay, but I don't know why you gotta yell at me. I'm just asking. Whatever happened there, I don't know.
It's like they're
Well, Your
just
Honor,
out
I
to
can
get
tell
me.
you what happened. Miss Vogel emailed me asking what would happen if she had to leave to go pick up her kids. And I told her that I would have to ask for a default judgment if she wasn't present when the court called her case. And she then responded and told me that I am ignorant and accused me of
So
having.
I said that this is ignorant.
No, you said.
Maybe repeat it properly. I can show them the
That is
message.
so ignorant.
It
And
is.
then
I
you
have
accused
children
me
to
of
pick up.
having
I've
it
been
out
sitting
for
here
your
for 2
family.
hours. And literally, I did everything you guys asked me to do.
Ma'am, that is entirely my fault. I will take the blame for that. Had my staff known, you wouldn't have to deal with Ms. Dornbush. You could have dealt with my staff. But having said that, and there are other things, sometimes I like to set these dockets. I try to get them going on time, but there are other things that I have to take care of.
And I can understand that respect.
So if you had just let my staff know, I would have tried to do the same thing that I did.
I'm just trying to understand why we're here today. Because I did what best.
Hold on.
Have just turned it over as a continuance for the 1st, because we had already agreed that on the 1st, I'll call Hawk back. I'll do the MAP program. We'll get the funding, go from there.
But, okay. So let me explain why you're here today.
Mhm.
Because we have to make sure that the payments in the interim come in. Don't give me that, ma'am. I'm going to tell you what. Ms. Dornbush may want to take your attitude. I do not take anybody's attitude. I'll just issue a judgment now, and that's not going to be to your benefit. I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
Am I understood? I'm just trying to explain to you that.
Yep.
You will never disrespect me.
And
might as well get
ask me if
judgment.
I understand.
That is by default. Or no tribal issue. After a hearing, I'll issue a judgment for the 1585.79.
Needs to be paid by when?
Writ date 10 days. She's got to pay that by May 4th. Thank you. Thank you. Your attitude.
Where do I find it?
Attitude elsewhere.
Where do I get
You
this?
better take it out of here right now, or you're going to go back there. Take it out of here. Yeah, you Huff, you better be disrespectful. Just give me a reason. Give me a reason. You better keep yourself moving. Don't give me a reason. Folks, why don't you give me about 2 minutes? I will get you out of here. I'm just going to take a brief recess. I don't want to.
All right.
If there's one lesson from this hearing, it's this. Eviction court moves fast and every deadline matters. One payment can buy you time. But one mistake can cost you everything. What would you do in this situation?